what I want to do is share a bit of
Tonight
information.
for this
And
amazing group of For Life
you don't
individuals,
understand the
and
value of the skills you're going to learn in
we're
this
going to
business.
hear some success stories. We're going to learn how to start and grow the
Really
business.
didn't
And
really understand and grasp it until I saw my friends and how much.
hello, welcome out there, world. This is the For Life Business Opportunity Meeting for February 7th. Can you believe it's already February? Guess what next week is? It's Valentine's Day. So you want to put your hearts on and share the love. And my name is Siobhan Shaw. I am the host tonight for this amazing group of For Life individuals and leaders that are going to share with you their experiences, information about getting involved in For Life, which is an incredible company. I've been with them just a few short months and I love them. I love everybody I've met, and everybody I haven't met, I love too, because there's this just great camaraderie with the organization, and it's unlike any other organization I've been involved with. And I got involved because I lead a nonprofit called Growing to Give, and all nonprofits, leaders will be nodding their heads if they're listening, have to raise funds, and they have trouble raising funds, and especially with, in times of inflation and issues like, wars and pandemics and things like that, it really kicks you, right? And so what I am doing is I am encouraging leaders of nonprofits to get involved and get involved in it as a business opportunity, but donate all or some of the money to their organizations, to the causes that they do to help people. So I am excited to see some old faces, ones people I know that I've worked with and spent time with, and some new faces tonight. And I welcome you to the For Life Business Opportunity Meeting. We're going to hear some success stories. We're going to learn how to start and grow the business. And I want to start by introducing you to Cindy Villanueva. She is our presenter tonight, and she happens to be the daughter of a platinum. And she's going to explain to you what a platinum is. I won't. But this, I understand, made her a little bit insecure because of being the daughter of a person who is a leader in the company. And she didn't let that stop her. She found her own way, and she's going to explain that tonight. And Dan Rojas is the person who's going to give you an amazing testimonial. I will too, actually, when he's just after he talks, I'll share one of my testimonials. And he's just amazing, and he's got a super powerful team already with For Life, and we're going to find out why he loves For Life, the business opportunity and the products, because Dan, I understand, is quite the fitness buff. So Cynthia, let's get started. Let's show the folks exactly what For Life is all about and why they want to get involved and hang out with us on a regular basis.
Of course, thank you so much for that introduction. You are so sweet, Siobhan. I love interacting with y'all. And Siobhan, you're so sweet. And I love y'all. If you have not seen the community she is growing, you need to take some lessons from this person because she is a pro. And she's only been here for a couple months. So, I have to up my game because that is amazing. I'm learning a lot from you too. So thank you for that. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit tonight, basically. And the goal here is that it adds value to your life. So I won't take very long, but I do want to share something that could potentially, solve any issue you may be having, whether it's financial, whether it's health, whether it's community that you're looking for. We have something for each of those areas. And well, before I continue, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I am an anthropologist. I'm looking at my degree right here at the wall. I went to UT Austin. I'm Texas born and raised. That is probably the first thing I will always tell you. And I studied anthropology. I traveled quite a bit with that. I did like excavations in the jungle, and it was really fun. And then I was recruited by Teach for America in order to be a teacher in Houston, Texas, which at first, I said I would never live in Houston or become a teacher ever. And that's the first thing I did. So I was there for 3 years being a teacher, and I liked being a teacher. I loved certain parts of it. I actually ended up really loving the kids. And that's because I'm not like a very kid person. I taught high school and I loved it. I loved the kids. I think that was the best part of it. I'm still in contact with many of them. Many of them went on to become teachers. So that was really fun. But the lifestyle of a teacher, I did not like. And I have so much respect for anyone who's teaching and who, if that's your passion, that is amazing. That is a beautiful gift. It was not for me, just specifically the lifestyle. During that time, it was the most stressed I've ever been in my entire life. I gained a lot of weight because I just put my health to the side. I stopped exercising. I stopped eating well. And it was just a very, very hard time in my life because, if you're a teacher or if you've ever been in that situation, you know that there's this, you try to do so much and then you hit a wall. And that wall is usually like the education system or the administration in your school. And that's what happened. And by the end of my third year, the situation there was not very nice. And there was a 50% teacher turnover. So 50% of the staff left when I left. I was part of that, migration. So you could just envision the environment we were in. And I was looking for something that would allow me to create an income while I started traveling again, because I loved to travel. And I just, quintessential millennial, I just really wanted to make my own agenda. I didn't want to be tied down to one geographical location. Like I just wanted to move, make money, and just live my life. I think we're like breaking free, Kelly Clarkson was like our muse. I don't know if you guys ever heard that song, like Break Away. That's just what we wanted to do. We just wanted to break away, the great escape. Anyway, I remember thinking like, what is going to give me that? And that was before the whole work from home thing happened or remote jobs, So we each went our own way. And I looked at my mom. My mom, like Siobhan said, is a platinum in the company. And that is one of the highest ranks in the company. And so she makes she makes some pretty good money, and she has complete freedom as to her time and where she's traveling. And I would always see her just hopping off from like one plane to the next and just enjoying her life, doing something she really liked to do. And she helped other people do the same. My brothers were in the company already, and I was like, okay, y'all need to teach me what you're doing, because that is where I want my life to head. I want to be able to have, a stable income, and I want to be able to travel and not have the Sunday scaries. So that is when they explained the whole, the company, the business to me. I more or less had an idea, but I didn't really know because I never cared until I had had enough of my traditional job. So I'm going to share the screen with y'all real quick, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about our company. So as you can see, we are 4Life Research. We are the immune system company. And this, we have been the immune system company since before the immune system topic was popular, y'all. This company dates back to 1998. So just to refresh here, there's so much going on in the world. I get it. And I think the more we move forward, the more we'll be in tune with just the health threats, the pandemics, the financial challenges happening in the world, because of social media, we're just a lot more interconnected. So we're very, very aware of what's going on the other side of the world and how it affects us directly, because what's happening somewhere else can affect us. Look at the inflation, look at just, the wars, everything, the worry. A lot of people are very, very scared. So all that, those are challenges we face nowadays. I mean, we've always faced them, but I think we're just so much more aware. So whenever people are looking to create an extra income, something to look at is, okay, most people used to say, maybe I'll drive an Uber or I'll do Lyft, or maybe I will open a small like mom and pop shop, down the street. What I would highly recommend is if you're going to start, to generate another stream of income from whatever you're doing, and you can keep your 9-to-5 job, that's great, but you should be generating extra income, just because you never know what's going to happen. I think the pandemic taught us a lot about this. So a lot of people started looking into opening small businesses, etc. These are three things for anyone, and this is where I feel like it adds so much value to you. If you didn't know this, now you know. Make sure whatever you're doing has these three components. First of all, globalization. You don't want to be tied down to one geographic spot, because if your local economy goes down, so does your business, okay? You want to make sure that the economy in one part of the world will not affect your business worldwide. That is a big key to success to a lot of big businesses. Second of all, rentability. You know, you don't want to over invest in a company that you don't really know if it's going to be successful. I mean, you can definitely make a big wager, a bet, but you never know. A lot of people I talk to, their dream is to open a restaurant, but that is a very big investment. I know people who have put in their life investment and in less than 5 years lose it all. You know, make sure it's something you can actually rent, something you can actually afford, you know, or that is not a big chunk out of your pocket. And this to me is probably the most important one. Make sure it has some sort of community that is willing to teach you the skills and the strategies for you to be successful. There are so many great business opportunities out there. I'm not going to lie. I love learning about them and I know they work, but there's a giant learning curve. Wherever you go, there's a learning curve. But when there's no one there to teach you,
recording in progress,
then that becomes harder, okay? Here, what we have is not only a global business that is affordable for people to start, but you also have a community that teaches you things for free. I take courses outside of here and I pay for them. So does Omar, so does Claudia, like so many people do. And we just bring all that knowledge here and pour it out for free. You have a community of like-minded people who are rooting for you, who want you to win. And that's not always what you see in business. So free knowledge while you earn and while you learn your business is so valuable and so impactful. So whatever you're going to do, think about these three pillars, okay? Now, our business, to me, is by far the best opportunity. Look, my family grew up very, very low income in the United States. Okay. We were part of that cycle of poverty. And my mom started this business. She started with network marketing and she broke that cycle for us. And because of her, we were all able to get, you know, degrees at four-year universities of our choice to study what we wanted. And that changed the course of our entire life. And that's why I think this opportunity is life-changing for whoever decides it to be life-changing. And even if that's not what you're looking for, this is a great source of extra income. And whatever happens, you know, whatever income you're trying to earn, you're going to learn so many skills, not only in the tangible sense, but also like leadership and personal development that you can use anywhere else. These are transferable skills. Y'all, you don't understand the value of the skills you're going to learn in this business that you can use anywhere. It's so impactful. And this is for less than $300 startup cost. And that's why I think sometimes people are like, oh, it's not a lot of money, therefore it's not a lot of value. No, this is one of those opportunities that has a lot of value for a very small price. Now, two big components for any of you, if you know business, then you'll understand this. If you don't, listen to this for whenever you decide to learn about business. I hope now, but look at this. You will have a turnkey system. What does that mean? That means you already have everything ready. You have the whole package. All that is needed is for you to be inserted into the package to make it work, okay? You will have an e-commerce website in multiple countries, languages where your business can grow. You have a manufacturing facility that is strictly for our product. You have patents, you have a team of scientists, you have all the reports. If you know business, you know that you need to generate so many different reports about sales, about clients, about your team members, about new company studies of the product. Everything is done for you. They even track every single order and every single time money comes into your account, and they'll tell you exactly where it comes from. Like that amount of work is automatically generated for you. And I don't think people give it the value that it should be given because it's amazing. And you also have a cell phone application with customer relation management, which allows you to keep track and follow up with every single one of your customers already. You don't need to create Excel sheets. You don't need to hire an assistant to help you with the business. This application becomes your assistant. I mean, this is huge. This is all included for less than $300. To me, that's wild because I haven't seen that anywhere else. Okay, now the company we're affiliated with, as I mentioned, is For Life Research. It has a 25-year history. It is debt-free, which is very, very good. You don't want a company that's super mega in debt and doesn't know how to manage their money. We've had the same owners, and it is a privately family-owned company. We manufacture our own products, and in April, we will be heading to Utah for our convention, and they give tours to all of us so we can see exactly where the products are developed, and they give us explanations. This company is very transparent, which I deeply appreciate. We have over 1,000 employees worldwide. All that are, you have access to this just by being involved with the company. We're in over 70 countries. If the US is not enough for you, choose one of the 70, that talk about being global. And we have over 60 worldwide patents on product technology. Now, my family has been involved since 2004. So we have been taking this product. I was a teenager back then, but I remember working in my mom's office in the summers, and I remember consuming the product since I was, I think, I'm gonna give my age away, but I was like 15, 16. I don't really remember, but I have always included this in my everyday life. I've always been one of those people that, thank God, takes the product, and I've always been good. When I was a teacher, okay, let me tell you this. If a kid sneezes, the whole school is gonna get sick, okay? That's just what's gonna happen. And I was always a teacher that was there. I was never out, ever. Which meant I had to sub for all of my friends who were out all the time. But I was good, y'all. I'm telling you, it works. Now, For Life Research, what do we market? What do we have? What do we patent? We have For Life Transfer Factor. And it's not a vitamin. It's not a mineral. It's not an herb or medication. So you cannot find this at GNC. You can't find this in other places. It is a messenger molecule that transfers immune knowledge to your body. I think there's a video or something. Now our immune system works 24/7. All right. And it's the first, it's your first line of defense. Anything happens, you get super stressed, or, there's so many things can happen to you. The first thing to go most of the time is your immune system. We need to always be taking care of your immune system. And I don't think we give it enough value until it's not working properly. Now, because you always want to be able to take care of it, we always teach it with For Life Transfer Factor. And we're going to have a wonderful testimony at the very, very end. I have my own testimonies about this, and I'm very grateful for the product. My dad actually, he is an immunologist, and he had heard of transfer factors in his career, and he always sought them out. So when this opportunity landed on their lap, with my mom and dad, they were like, yes, I know transfer factors. They're very well studied. We have so many scientific research papers that are available to us, including on the website. And our team of scientists are always, always investigating because of the word research in our name. So you know that these products actually do what they say they do. Now, we have transfer factor in the form of capsules, powders, liquids, and gels. And even chewable gummies, etc. There's so many ways to take these, and it's delicious. Actually, most of them. I take some products I'm working on my fitness, to be really honest, because I had gained weight during the pandemic weight. So I take the For Life Transform line that includes transfer factors. So I'm not only getting fit, but I'm also taking care of my immune system. So definitely ask the person who invited you more information about the product because it really is fantastic. Now there are 4 ways to participate. One, if you would like to try out the product, if you said, you know what, before I do anything, I want to, consume the product, see how I feel, that's totally fine. You can become a preferred customer. And so you can have access to the wholesale prices. You have access to something called the loyalty program, which I absolutely love, and I can rant about this all night. but I'm only going to say it's one of the best reward systems because you have the potential to have free full-size product, not like those cheap little things they give you at Sephora for like 100 points, just like $100. You actually get full-size product. Now, if you are social media savvy and you have 5,000 followers or more and are interested in affiliate marketing, we do have a sister program called the Brand Ambassador Program. Now, again, if you are social media savvy and you would like to use the affiliate marketing that we have, you can definitely apply to that program, but that is 5,000 followers on any given social media or more, and you fill out the application. And if you are approved, they give you an affiliate link. And for every sale that you make with that affiliate link, you get a 25% commission, which is one of the highest in the industry because you get paid the next day. That's actually a very high commission because a lot of these people get paid 10% commissions, 4% commissions, and some of the payouts aren't until like 3 months later, or like the shortest ones are about a month or a couple of weeks. So to be paid the next day is impressive. Now, the third way to do this is if you don't have the social media savviness or you don't have the followers, you can also use it as an e-commerce platform because the company provides you the e-commerce link for you to also do affiliate marketing. That, you don't have to fill out an application, but you have a monthly purchase, which is your monthly investment. And then you have access to the e-commerce platform. You can always ask for that. To me, it's very easy to just use my affiliate marketing link on social media or with people because this is a people-to-people business. So I'm always recommending things. I'm always recommending products everywhere I go. So if I recommend it, I get a commission. I love that. And if you're really into sales, you can build up so many strategies for this. Now, the fourth option is what I do and what most people in this chat do, which is, to me, the most rewarding and the most life-changing. If you're looking for life-changing, it would be the fourth option. Now, this is a business leader. What do? We not only use the e-commerce platform because it is very good and sales are an important part, but most importantly, we build a team of people who want to grow as leaders and who are looking for the bigger income. Now, what do we do with these people? We teach them not only marketing and sales because we are in marketing, but we teach them leadership skills. We teach them skills when it comes to people management. We teach them skills on how to build and sustain a long-term business, okay? This is not just for a year or two. This is for the rest of your life, okay? And we teach them how to, financial education, etc. once we get to that level. Now, I call it building a volunteer sales force. That's what I personally call it. But really what we do is we recommend product to other people. And I'll tell you a little bit more about this. But for example, this is what I do. I meet people every single day on social media and in person. I talk to them about the opportunity and the product, whichever they choose, I connect them to the company. Because I connect them to the company, I will get a commission either from the sale or I get to work with them and build them as leaders, as speakers, so that they can also build their own teams. All right, that's basically like the gist of what we do. And when I do that, I get monthly recurring income. So I'm going to show you a small example. So for example, I talk to 6 people and they decide to connect to the company. Yes, they want to form part of the company. I will connect them. For that, I will get a commission of $24, which some people might not see that as a lot of money, but it's okay because this is an exponential growth when it comes to income. My job is to teach these 6 people how to create their own income, how to help them get 6 people to connect to the company. So it's either by sales or by people who want to earn extra income and who also want to, build their team, or they just are interested in learning the skills of a business person. So by connecting in my second level 36 people, I will earn $1,080 plus $24 because it is cumulative. Now, at this point, because I did a good job teaching, these people will be able to teach their own, affiliates how to do the same thing. So in my third level, I'll have 216 people connected to the company. For that, I can get a commission of $3,672 plus $1,080 plus 24. Okay. And you will see this continuously if people keep connecting to the company. Now, this is what I tell others. Look, if you want just an extra couple $100 a month, then you don't need to learn a lot of skills. You will need to learn a certain amount of marketing, a certain amount of leadership, a certain amount of wouldn't know what the company has to offer. You don't need to invest as much. You will need to invest time and like resources, like you need to understand like how to grow a business to a certain extent, but the more you want to like earn, the more you're going to have to learn and invest time wise. Okay, like the main investment you make is time and your willingness to learn, really. That's what it is. But I tell people, like, make sure you understand that if you want to make the big money, you're gonna have to learn and grow more as a person. Okay, that's because I know for some people it's just like, oh my god, it's too much money, I don't think I can earn that. I'm like, yes you can, and there are a lot of people earning this, but they put in the extra work and the time. Okay, now I live from this income, and can we check the now I I live off of this, so does my husband, so did my brother, so does my mom. I mean, we have made this like a generational business. We know what we're telling you, but we've also, taken the time to learn the skills and the leadership and business. So for me, that is what I want, the information I wanted to share, but I'm not the only person here who has been developing a business. So I want to invite onto our virtual stage someone who is a fitness buff and who has experience in traditional businesses and in marketing and has definitely loved our community and loved our opportunity. And I want him to talk to us a little bit about that. So I want to welcome Dan Rojas to our virtual stage. Welcome.
Oh, can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me? Okay. Hello. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you for your intro. As Cindy says, I'm not a business buff, but I always been into fitness. I went to college. I played college basketball. I swim for college, and I did three sports. I did track and field. So I've always been into sports. I've always been into fitness, and this is something that I wanted to bring in today was talk about our products, our Transform, as Cindy spoke before. Our Transform line is actually weight management line, and I've been looking for products. I use all kinds of products, pre-workouts, proteins, and some of the stuff worked, some of the stuff really didn't work. And when I started using our protein, I immediately felt the change. My muscle mass immediately started growing. I noticed that it wasn't, most of the time proteins are heavy, so it messed with your stomach. Our protein did not did that to me, and I loved it because it's actually tastes amazing. And also, one of the things that the newest thing that we have right now is the Pre-Zoom. Pre-workouts are good, but they're dangerous because they're either full of caffeine, they're full of sugars. So they give you that pump, like we call it, and they give you that surge of energy, but at the same time, at the end of it, you crash. The sugar level kills you because you're like, now, if it's late at night, you can't sleep. So one of the things you need the most after workouts is sleeping. And also, it helped with being focused in the gym, because a lot of times you're at the gym, you look at different things and you're trying to get, thinking of the next thing, but you can't focus on what you're doing. So it helps tremendously, and I love this line. And I would recommend it to anyone. I would say out of 10, I'll give it 11, because believe me, I tried everything from online orders to GNC to whatever you can imagine it's out there for workout. I tried it all, and this is by far the best thing. It helps. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the business side of the thing. As Cindy says, I have experience in business. I help a few of my friends open their own businesses. Recently, I had experience opening a franchise of ice cream, And one of the things that happened with us was like, as I'm helping them, I'm noticing how much money they were putting into it. And I'm looking at what I do as a network marketer, and I was looking at their investment, and I started comparing. You know, this is like I'm putting basically nothing to gain a lot, and they're putting, actually, I'm gonna give you a number. They put $500,000 to open their own business, and on top of that, they had to put about 75 hours of work just to start their own business. And after that, their investment time went up because the business opened. Now they have to invest time in it. They have to figure out how to get it running, and once it's running, how to keep it running. So seeing what we do and how little effort I put as far as to keep my business running, because the company does all the heavy work for me. The company has over 1,000 employees. They do everything. They do the research. They make the products. They ship the products. They store the products. All I have to do is, as Cindy says, share the product with people, share the information. We do it anyways. People go out to a restaurant. The first thing you do is, do you like it? You go out to your friends. Hey, I love this place. Check it out. That's what we do with this. So comparing what we do with what my friends did, and the investment was for me, the like looking at what you said, that aha moment, because I've always been interested in network marketing. I was already in the business, but I really didn't really understand and grasp it until I saw my friends and how much they put into it. And now, unfortunately, they're closed. I am trying to work out with them again, trying to open a food truck. That way they can get something going. But at the same time, it's a little bit difficult because people don't really understand how much of a difference is from having a brick and mortar to having a food truck. So it's a lot of work, but it's fun for me because I love businesses. Another thing I wanted to talk about is from the business. And for me, I think the thing that I like the most, because I always say we come in this for money, but I ended up finding a family. Cindy talked about a community, and I think that our community is more like a family. When I came into this business with very little knowledge, I found a group of people that were willing to help me grow. They were willing to give me share with me some of their knowledge so that I can learn. And there's no one place out there in the workplace that you can go and no one is going to tell you, hey, I'm going to teach you what I learned so you can take over my position, because nobody's going to do that. Everybody's afraid to lose their salary. Everybody's afraid to lose their money. In here, you don't get that. On top of that, they're always willing to help. And the biggest thing for me is, like, I grew up in Puerto Rico. I grew up in a place, like I call it, a very poor place with a very poor mentality. And I said, this is the land of you can't and you won't. So as a child, as a kid, I was like always told, no, you can't play basketball because you're not tall, or you can't do this because you're not rich, or you can't, you're ugly, so you can't do this, things like that. And always grew up listening to the word no. And when I came into here, this is probably the second time after my wife and my family, her family, because my family was very negative too. They were ones to tell me tell me the first time, yes, you can do what you want, what you can. You can do what you put your mind into it, and we will help you. We support you. And then when I came into this business, when I came into this group of people, I found a bunch of people that believe in me. That for me has been the biggest impact of all. Other than the money, the money is great for me as a leader, for me as a person that likes help people grow. That was the biggest impact. That is for me the most important thing, and adding value to people is what I love doing. So the fact that I can be fed from other people to feed others, that for me is the most important thing. And I think that we should all continue to push and do this, because as a team we can reach further. One person can go far, but I think a bunch of us can reach even further than we can ever imagine. Jesus didn't. If you're a Christian here, Jesus didn't reach the world by itself. and he needed 12 apostles, and the apostles needed more people. So, and that's the same thing with any company. As a person, as a leader, for me, the biggest impact that this business and this company has had on me is a family. It's a group of people that I can reach out anytime. Like if I can call Omar and I know he's there for me. If I need to call Cindy or her husband, I know they're there for me. You know, my mentor from here in Orlando, she tells me all the time, I believe in you. I know you can do it. Jennifer has been a biggest inspiration for me because of the way they did this business. So I love the fact that I can get that kind of feedback from people and that I can offer it to others. So I want to say thank you to all the leaders in here, because you guys have no idea what you have done in my life. And I wish I have an hour, 2 hours to express it all, but there's no other words to say thank you, guys.
Wow, that is amazing, Dan. Thank you so much. And Cynthia, thank you so much for sharing how the business works. It's when you see it on a presentation, you really start to understand it. And it's exciting. I like when the phone dings and says, you've got money. I love that. You make a sale and the next day you can put that right in your bank account, that your commission. It's really exciting. I want to ask you, Cynthia, what was, your mom was a leader in the company, and of course this company is great because their leaders are available to everybody. I've just come on and I'm getting to talk to Dave and Gabriella Daughtry on a regular basis on Facebook or over the phone. Or if I have a question, I can call them, as well as the rest of my upline, who are wonderful. Claudia and Jillian. I know she's not here tonight, but you guys are amazing. Cynthia, what was one thing that your mom taught you that you still do today?
Okay, I love this question. There's so many things she's taught me, but the most important one is definitely connecting and the relationships. The relationship with the other person will always come first. It's that relationship you want to nurture and take care of. You need to be able to be a listener, and it's a developed skill. I think we never think of how many skills we develop as a leader, but communication and listening and being there for people, the relationship will always be first. Never ever trump a relationship for any other, momentary gain or whatever. Long-term relationships are the goal, and it will transfer to other areas of your life. My family was not very close growing up, and ever since we all embarked in this opportunity, we talk the same language and we have the same skills, we've gotten a lot closer. So definitely long-term relationships.
Excellent. And yeah, building relationships is a big thing. It's something I've done all my life. I've been in sales and promotions and casting and film and television, and you really do have to build a relationship with anybody, and especially if you are trying to build a business and network. You can't just go, I got this product for sale, would you buy it please? And you still see that a lot. I get that a lot on LinkedIn. Obviously you get a lot of messages on Facebook that you don't want either. Will you marry me please? Those types of things. So I think it's really important that people learn how to build those relationships in any job that they have. Dan, I got to ask you. You talked about being in this cycle of poverty when you were young. Do you think that was just a mindset for you?
You know what? I think I was different. Like I've always I felt like an outsider in my own family, because I've always thought that there was something else out. There's something for me, and part. Gosh, if bullying was a as bad as it is today, or as exposed as it is today, back then my mom would have been in prison, and my family, because they crushed me. You can't do this. Just to give you a quick example, I was 4'11" when I got to high school. I didn't make my varsity team until I make to my senior year. And part of not it was the mentality of having my spirit crushed and not being able to do this. You're always been poor. I wanted to have I remember when I was 13 years old, I told my mom I wanted to buy a 300Z Nissan, and I gave her the color and everything. And they all laugh at me. They're like, "You're crazy. We don't have a penny." And I'm like, that doesn't matter. This doesn't have to be my future. Your today is not going to be my future. And from there, I became like a joke in my family. I was the dreamer. That Dan was no longer my name. It was Dan the Dreamer. It was just Dan Rojas. And it all happened all the way into my second kid, when I decided to go back to school to be a designer. That was another thing. Thank God I have my wife and her family. They were big supporter of me, and they believe in me. And that gave me a huge boost. But I feel like an outsider in my own family. I always have that different mentality.
Yeah,
but your surroundings make you. Your surroundings either make you or break you. And whether you like Cindy said, relationship is probably the most important thing. So my relationships weren't healthy around me, and that crushed everything within me when I was younger.
And Cynthia, you actually referred to a Kelly Clarkson song, and I'm young enough to know who Kelly Clarkson is. I feel very hip. But you talked about that song, Breakaway, The Great Escape. This business can do that for people, right? Dan's talking about it. You've talked about it from a teaching perspective. You were a teacher. Now, why didn't you go right from being a teenager right into For Life and go right to the top? Instead, you went to teaching.
Sorry.
Is there sort of this disconnect?
No. That is something people ask me all the time, because they see my mom. They're like, "You saw her success. You saw everything." And I was like, I saw it from outside of the business as her daughter. And mind you, my parents went through a really bad divorce, and I had been living with my biological father, and I only lived with my mom while she was in development to become a leader for 2 years. So there was a great disconnect. And I wanted the, I guess, quintessential American experience of, graduate from high school, go to college, get my degree. And I had my nose up in the air about a lot of things, kind of like, oh no, I'm going to get my degree. I know way more. I'm going to solve my life, and I'm going to be the director of blah, 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 have a fancy title. That is why I didn't go the network marketing route from the beginning. And honestly, I think I needed, I guess I had a huge ego is what it was. And my mom let me explore, different career paths and do my own thing. She even, there are some kids who didn't get to major in what they wanted because their parents are like, no, you're going to do A or B and that's it, because they give you money. My mom let me major as an anthropologist, like who lets their kid do that? And I did that. And I do not regret the path, because anyway, I was going to eventually find the moment when I myself searched for this opportunity. And I think it was just ignorance, and also it just wasn't my timing. I had to go through whatever process I had to go through in order to appreciate this opportunity. And then when I finally came in here, and it was like one of those like, whoa, mind-blowing experiences, I got to see my mom, the entrepreneur, and I got to know the business as an actual business. And I could compare, I had life experience, and then I saw like where my life was going, and I didn't like it. And I was able to make a better decision, which, and I'm not saying don't go to college. I mean, definitely go if you want to and you love it, do it. But don't let that investment stop you from changing the course of your life, whether it's with network marketing or anything else. I mean, that's why that happened.
And I think that's what's really great about For Life is you can have another job. You can be going to school. You can run a nonprofit like I do, Growing to Give. I'm running and building with a team of amazing people, a global nonprofit where we're going to develop farms and community gardens and enhance them to make them stronger, you know, growing more food in less space with less resources and less labor, less weeding. And that's like a really big part of my life. But I have this other life now with For Life, and I can see that it will be For Life because I can do just a little bit or I can do a lot. It's my choice, right? And you're winning either way because you're with this amazing group of people that are supportive. You've all talked about that. And Dan, I'm going to quote you on my Facebook page because I do a lot of inspirational quotes on my Facebook page. And your today will not be my future. That's a Dan Rojas quote. And we're gonna, you know, it's gonna be, it really should be the For Life quote. So right now I want to open the floor to questions from the audience. And Claudia and Betty also have some people they'd like to welcome to the team. And I want to know who's here for the first time. Please introduce yourself. So let's start with Claudia. Who are you welcoming to the team today?
Well, I actually want to welcome Mr. Greg, and I can't wait, team. I can't wait for you guys to meet Mr. Greg from Mississauga. I met him last week. I went to see him, gave him some samples. But the cool thing about Greg is that, and I know he won't mind me saying this, he's 87 years old, but he is only really in his mind and everywhere like 26. And he has a story about that. So, but also the cool thing is that today is his first Zoom ever because we kept like teaching him and he had some, you know, struggle, something, whatever. He figured it out. And today is his first anniversary, not only in our community, but I'm so proud of him. I keep telling him, my gosh, it takes me so much longer with people that are like 1/3 his age sometimes. And so I can't wait to have him more and more in our meetings, in our mentorships, and just get him involved. So I'm excited about Greg. And I said soon I'm going to have him speaking because wait until you see this guy and you hear this guy. He is all about motivation. So Greg, we're excited to have you here. And Dr. Cruz, he's already been in For Life for a little while. Dr. Cruz is still here. Let me see. But I wanted to invite him because he moved to Toronto. I think he jumped out. So Dr. Cruz, yeah, he jumped out. He is moved to Toronto with his ID from Mexico. So he's been kind of like just contacting me, but I just wanted to invite him because he's learning English and I just definitely want him to be involved with the English community. And that's it. I think for me, we had somebody on the iPhone that I don't know whose guest it was. I don't know if it was Betty's guest, but I think he also jumped out. I'm not sure what happened with our iPhone person.
Betty,
Betty,
do you
what
have
about you?
somebody you want to say hello to? And
I do have Candy. She's ranked already for her first I'm thinking in Spanish, I'm sorry guys. It's a Constructor Elite, Builder Elite. And so she jumped in as a first timer on an English team. So I want to welcome her. And she also invited that one iPhone. He just disconnected, but he heard the whole entire presentation. And I just want to thank Cindy. I love the whole team, but I'm just going to focus on Cindy because I love to learn from her. Every time she gives her presentation, it's so professional. And I learned so much from it. So cuando crezca, quiero ser como tú. And when I just said it, when I grow up, I want to be just like her. So thank you everyone for coming and joining. So Candy, I just want to welcome her. She's learning and she's hungry.
Welcome, Candy.
Hi.
Yay.
Can I say some words?
Of
Absolutely. Please, Kennedy.
Yeah. First of all, I want to say that God doesn't make mistakes, that I feel like I belong to this group. I'm willing to be, well, first of all, I'm coachable. I'm willing to learn whatever it takes to be in the University of Sen. And also, like Betty said, I'm hungry for evolving. I'm hungry for like making things work for me. I've been in other companies, but I know that I'm understanding now why God put me in For Life. And I wasn't able to hear everything, and I'm sorry. I apologize for that. I had an emergency with my son, but I invited a friend of mine who already disconnected from the iPhone. That I told him about this great opportunity, the project for life, and I'm glad he stayed all over until now. I don't know he went to work, but I'm willing, like I said, willing to learn. Any suggestions or anything, just like I say to Betty, let me know. I'm constantly like bugging her, and because I just feel like I'm tired of working 8 hours or 12-hour shift. I feel like I can be the leader. People are looking for all of us, and I truly believe that God, like I said, doesn't make mistakes, and I'm here like very grateful to be here tonight. Thank you.
Well, we're so grateful that you've joined the team, and I'm excited to get to know you as you start doing business opportunity meetings. um,
Thank
who
you.
else would like to have? Who else would like to speak tonight? We've got a whole lot of clapping, but where are the hands up? Omar, I'm sure you've got something to say.
Wow, Siobhan, thank you. I mean, I wasn't expecting that, but yeah, it's been a great night. I always learn from Cindy. Like I can be here. I've been involved for probably a decade already, and every time I hear Cindy, I learn something new. It's just like she just speaks to me. Like it's just in certain ways, and then too, like I can relate with you guys in so many different ways that every time she gives that presentation, I feel like I'm pumped up. I want to sign up again because I want to, it's just getting fired up. So I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be part of this time. I'm glad to be alive in this time and be able to enjoy what's about to happen in the English market, how this boom is going to change so many lives. And we're going to be 5 years from now, maybe even more, we're going to be talking about these Zooms when we began. I'm just excited that there's a whole bunch of stuff that God has in store for us this year, and looking forward to see you guys at convention. I'm really excited for that.
That's right. The convention is coming up. Claudia, let's give the folks a rundown on what's coming up. We've got some health talks on Saturday and next week. So jump in.
Yes. Let's start with tomorrow. Tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. That's Miami, New York, Toronto, which is easy to figure out for the other ones. We have our business opportunity daytime version with our Dave Daughtry, who is back from Brazil. So the reason we do that one is because it's a nice lunch break. If you guys have somebody that is like, at work and they want to take a 12 noon lunch break, they can jump into that meeting, meet our platinum. And it's also because we got a lot of people from Africa in that one. So if you guys have somebody in Europe or Africa, it's a great time for them because it's after work because they can't join this one, right? Friday, I opened a small spot, 30 minutes. If you guys want to jump in, probably none of the ones that are here, but if you want to invite your team, I just opened up a spot for question and answer. It seems, especially with those amazing trainings on Tuesdays, people are left with a lot of questions. So I'll be there. You can just hop in and say, I didn't understand anything they said on Tuesday, or I want to learn more about TF. Joanne was asking me today, which TF is better? That's the 1 in a million question. Which TF is better for me? So anything you want to ask, I'm going to open up, talk to the coach. Dr. Regina calls them like that. Maybe I'll call them like that. Saturdays, I'm opening a health space also at 10 a.m. again, Eastern time, because we do need those health testimonials, health talks. Last week, I did it on digestive enzymes. It turned out quite good. Faye was there, Faye from Singapore. This week, I'm going to focus on fiber system. And next week, we have our Tuesday talk. We are confirming the speakers. I will probably be one of them. It's Valentine's Day. So what happens is, I know maybe some of you want to celebrate, but hey, we still want to be here. So Tuesday, Wednesday, we have, we're going to talk about inflammation. in general, not just inflammation of the gut, but general inflammation. I think we need to change it. I think inflammation, I'm going to check. It's not a word we are allowed to use because of policies and procedures. The actual word we're not allowed to say. I think so. I'm going to check that before we launch that meeting. And then Wednesday, as always, business opportunity night. So rundown of the week, guys. I have a weekly flyer, so I'll share it on the group. Thank you very much. And that's all for tonight. We can open and say goodbye. Anything else? Anybody
Thank
else?
you so
want to say
much. And next week, Helena, Alea, and Claudia will definitely be there
Yes.
for Valentine's Day to share their love.
I haven't told Helena, that's why I didn't mention her, but I want to see. I was looking for a perfect partner, Helena. So I'm taking you out on a date for Valentine's. I want to talk to her before we launch. So Helena's probably going to say yes to me, but I want to launch something special. It's going to be dressed in red and with a Rio Vida in our hands for those of you, not necessarily singles out there, but those of you that want to jump in and jump out. I'm planning something special for Valentine's. So Elena and I will plan something good if she says yes to my friendship invite. So thank you, Siobhan. My goodness, what a host we have. Congratulations.
Our host, Siobhan, we're going to have you more on if you're okay with that. We want to put you on March too, if it's okay with you.
Absolutely. I'd love to. You guys are amazing. And you're going to have to teach me to speak Spanish. I'm going to get everybody to commit right now that you're going to start speaking to me in Spanish, even though
I
I'll be
was
like
a
deer in the
Spanish
headlights.
teacher.
Awesome. Because we got projects lining up in, of all places, Peru and Cuba and all kinds of places where I'm going to have to learn the language that I do not know.
Oh, Mr. Greg wants to learn Spanish too, Cynthia. So we're going to have to open up another space for Spanish classes for Americans. And very good.
So would everybody, that's a whole other class. So we'll do that another day. Would everybody join me in thanking Dan and Cynthia for sharing their insights, their experience, the stories. I mean, just the stories that you guys shared tonight are inspiring. And I thank you so much. And also a round of applause for Kendi and Dr. Cruz and all the people that are just deciding to say yes to For Life. For Life.
Thank you. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Siobhan. You did amazing. We'll teach you Spanish and you teach us greatness. How about that?
Yes.
That's
That's gonna be hard to do. I have to go to my notes.
have a good night, guys.
God bless you all.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you for
Have a
everything.
good night, everybody. Thank you,
Have a good
Cynthia.
night.
Thank
Thank you.
Desde California. Good night.
From Toronto, I mean, I'm not in Toronto. From Canada, good night.
Night.
Buenos dias.
Buenas noches. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches, everybody. I love you guys. Take care.
I mean, sorry, Siobhan.
Yeah,
Buenas noches. Noches, night. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
There you go.
Buenas noches.